I started music in 6th grade. It was because my neighbor had a guitar and he gave it to me. So I joined a band with my friends. Then I moved towns and I didn't have any bandmates, so I learned how to make music on my own. And I started writing raps and making beats. I really sucked when I started, I'm not gonna lie, it was horrible. But I just kept writing and writing and writing and studying my influences and learning the technical side of it all, and I just didn't quit. Everybody told me to stop and said I sucked, but I didn't care, and I kept going until I got a job at a publishing company. But I didn't like how that worked out because I wanted to be an artist, and I stayed there for a few years, and then I left to start Chatterbox.
Yeah, I confess, Father, I confess. It's
funny because the story of Control is how I made like my first big release. I just found the beat on the internet and it was already released as an instrumental by a guy named Fam. I just started writing a song to it and it took me a couple months, but I finally wrote a song to it and I just like randomly sent it to him, you know, with no expectations, and he responded and was like he loved it and all this stuff and wanted to release it. So he ended up re-releasing that song with my vocals on it. And at this point in my life, I've been f***ed over so many times. I've been writing music for like 10, 12 years. My publishing deal was f***ing horrible and I was just so discouraged I wanted to quit. I was like 25 and my music wasn't working out, and if it wasn't for this song, I probably would have walked away.
So don't let them talk to you. Soon them voices will sound very far from you. Trust me, girl, because soon they won't bother you. I'm familiar with them demons inside of you.
I talk about demons a lot because I have a lot of them, I guess you could say. I didn't get to release an album in 2018 and I had found out that I had stomach cancer. I swallowed a quarter playing a drinking game when I was 18, 19, around there. And all of my friends, we all just like kind of laughed and didn't really know what to do. And some of my friends told me that, oh, it's not a big deal, you'll just pass it. And so I didn't think much of it. Little did I know that this quarter got stuck in my stomach. And so for years afterwards, I was getting really sick and I was losing weight and they didn't know what it was. Years later, for an unrelated thing, I got an abdominal x-ray and they found like a metal mass in there, and they did an endoscopy and they found something lodged in my stomach that had wreaked like major havoc. I had ulcers and I had a hernia in my stomach and I had just all types of shit in there, and it was from the quarter being lodged in my stomach for all these years. The doctor told me that I was probably lucky that I didn't die from like lead poisoning and nickel poisoning and all this shit from the years that it was stuck in there. You know, years of not paying attention to it or, you know, being unhealthy, it's just escalated and escalated. So last year, like I said, is when the doctors told me that I had a carcinoma in my stomach. To me, it seemed logical because I had been mistreating my body for so long. So it was a wake-up call, you know, it's like, you know, keep living the way I'm living and, you know, I could die or do something dramatic and change. And I had a big support system. I had a lot of people around at the time that I was going through like a lot of mental craziness and confusion, and I decided I needed to change up my environment. So I moved to Canada. In October of 2018, a good friend of mine named Tom Dern passed away, and he was a manager in the music scene, and it was really hard on our whole group of friends, like losing him. So we had a particular friend named Mime who lived in Ottawa, and I came out to visit him just as like a visit because we were all kind of heartbroken and lost after, you know, Tom had passed. I came out to visit, and it was just like with the timing and everything, I just decided I would stay here and work on my music. So right now I'm working on an album called Legends Always Die. Spent a lot of time building with other artists too, with Blackstone and Mime and Born Eye Music and Azide and Scan and just so many people that I've been fortunate to work with. It's really hard to be an independent artist these days. Like a lot of people don't understand, like they're like, oh, why are you not famous, or how come other people don't listen to you, or this and that, or how come I don't see you with like, you know, Lil Pumps and Lil this and that. They don't understand how like dynamic and deep the game is. It's frustrating sometimes not having the support of a whole management team or a label that backs you, and like you know, all of my videos and all of my stuff I have to fund myself. So the money I make from my music, I reinvest in my music, and I don't have like a team or investment groups or people like that that'll just up the money. And so that's why there's this level of competition between our mainstream artists and independent artists. And that's why, you know, some good music doesn't get heard and some bad music gets heard way more, because they have a lot bigger teams behind them and they have a lot more money backing them. I frequently get messages from other people that are like, oh, you know, this song really helped me through these times and gave me comfort in this way or whatever. And, you know, or I really like this song because it made me feel not alone because somebody else felt this way as well. Those little things are kind of what give you more gratification than actual paychecks or feature or premieres on big channels and stuff like that. Ever since I've been in Canada, I've loved it. It's been like, people have been really nice. You know, the culture's different. They are more respectable to other cultures, I feel like. You know, it's just a change of perspective, you know, like comfort kills, they say. And when you're too comfortable in the same place for too long, sometimes it's easy to not grow or to settle. So, I don't know. Just changing up the scenery could be healthy sometimes. It's a big circle because when I was lost and I had nothing, other music and other people's music is what kept me kind of going. And so there's other people out there that I get to do the same with, you know. So, you know, it's never too late to change. It's never too late to try to make up for maybe some mistakes you felt like you've made. It's a crazy trip, it's a crazy road. When you think you're at the bottom and you can't make it through is when you'll learn the most about yourself.